looking everywhere, that's how the story goes. Grab your gear.
The valley is no longer hiding. What once felt like echoes from the past have now taken form. The queen's name is no longer a legend. It's a presence, whispering through every tree, every stone, every heartbeat. Velina's eyes have changed. Her voice isn't always her own, and those who still trust her may not survive her. The castle grows colder, the nights stretch longer, and the line between the living and the lost is starting to blur. But the true danger isn't just in the halls of the castle. It's in their memories, their fears, their secrets. One of them has already made a deal. Another is being watched. And someone is about to open a door that can't be closed. The queen is stirring. The valley is listening. And time is running out. The Hollow Valley continues, only on Zombie Story Zone.
Survive the night. We'll survive the night. From the graveyards to the street.
Beneath the earth, in the cold belly of the castle, the group sat in silence. Only the occasional drip of water echoed through the crypt's long stone halls. The dead were gathering above. They could feel it. Professor Aveline flipped through Vivian Ross's final entries in the Black Ritual book. The ink had darkened with age, but one phrase burned like fire. To bind death once more, the blade must taste the blood of her kin. Aveline's hand trembled. Her own bloodline, the only way to reseal the curse. But the knife, the blood blade, was still missing. It was hidden in the tomb of the Hollow Guard, she said aloud, somewhere beneath us. Zane and Kevin volunteered to search the far crypt passageways. They passed through a long corridor lined with open coffins, each one empty. Why are they all gone? Kevin muttered, scanning the names etched above. They're not buried, Zane whispered. They're following her now. At the end of the hall, they found a sealed chamber. The stone door bore an emblem, a hand pierced by a dagger. Zane pried it open with an iron bar. Inside lay a skeleton in armor, gripping a blackened ceremonial dagger. The bloodblade, still wet, still humming. Back in the central chamber, Maya's body convulsed. Her skin had grown pale and veined, her eyes fluttered. When she opened her mouth, she spoke in two voices, her own and another's. She is here. Her crown rises. Your hearts will bloom in her garden of rot. Rhea stepped back, trembling. That's not Maya. Lara held her hands. Don't say that. She's still in there. We just have to reach her. But Maya's eyes snapped open, and she smiled. Aveline returned with the bloodblade. She gathered the group in the candle-lit altar chamber. There's a ritual. It must be done while the moon is highest. Ethan asked, what does it involve? My blood and Maya's, Aveline said, together, offered in fire. It will bind the queen, but the vessel she's using... She looked at Maya. She might not survive. Lara shook her head. We can't kill her. But Isla, half-conscious, whispered, you have no choice. She's becoming the next queen. Everyone froze. Suddenly, footsteps echoed from the tunnel entrance. Lady Elira entered, alone, soaked and covered in scratches. I kept them away as long as I could, she gasped. But she's in the orchard now. She's waking the valley's roots. Trees are bleeding. The soil is cracking. She pulled out a small black vial. Elira? Aveline said. This was Vivienne's. Its essence from the queen's original blood. You'll need it to ignite the ritual. Then, before anyone could stop her, Elira drank it. She collapsed. Her skin bubbled. Her eyes rolled back. Her last words, seal it, Aveline. End what I began. Then she died. Maya let out a deep scream that shook the crypt walls. Above them, the queen howled in reply. The ground trembled. The final night had begun. The crypt trembled with each passing second. Above them, thunder rolled. But it was not thunder. It was the sound of many feet, shambling, dragging, clawing toward the castle. The queen was coming. Maya sat against the wall, her body barely human now. Her breath was shallow. Her skin had gone pale and marbled like stone. Her lips cracked open, whispering verses in an ancient tongue no one could understand. She's almost through, Aveline said, clutching the bloodblade. Once she enters the crypt, we won't be able to perform the ritual. Kevin stared at Maya. We're just going to stab her? That's it? Aveline shook her head. It's not a killing. It's an offering. The blood of two hosts, my blood and hers, must touch the flame on the queen's altar. And then, she returns to sleep, for 100 years, if not forever. But what happens to Maya? Lara asked, voice shaking. Aveline didn't answer. Upstairs, Zane and Liam reinforced the stone door that led from the castle to the outside world. They used old wooden beams and rusted chains. Not sure that'll hold back an army of the dead, Zane muttered. It's not for them, Liam replied. It's for her. Suddenly, Rhea screamed from the tunnel corridor. They rushed to her and found Tasha slumped against the crypt wall. Blood pooled beneath her. Her throat had been cut. Next to her, on the wall, scrawled in her blood, "Let her in." The group reeled in horror. We were locked in together, Lara shouted. One of us did this. Kevin backed away. No, I was with Isla and Jared. Then who? Rhea demanded. That's when Maya began laughing. Softly, coldly, with a voice that wasn't hers. She walks in your skin, Maya whispered. You let her in. Her eyes rolled back. Her body stiffened. Aveline looked to the others. Someone here is already turned. The queen doesn't need to break in. She's already inside. That night, the castle shook as the crypt door began to bulge. From the other side, they heard her nails. Scratching, dragging, tapping. Tap, tap. Isla began humming softly in the corner. Maya was never the vessel, she whispered. It was always supposed to be me. Everyone turned to her. Isla stood. Her skin had begun to split. Her eyes glowed faintly. Her veins were black. She smiled. She kissed me in the garden. And then Isla opened the crypt door from the inside. The queen stepped in, her rotting feet dragging across stone, her crown of dead vines dripping, her mouth wide open, never speaking, only smiling. Zane rushed forward with the fire iron. She touched him once. His skin boiled, and he fell screaming. Kevin tried to stab her. She blew a breath into his mouth. His heart stopped. Aveline screamed, "Now!" She grabbed the blood blade and slashed her own palm. Then she turned to Maya. Maya looked up, her eyes briefly hers again. She nodded. Aveline cut her palm too. Their blood mixed on the dagger. She rushed to the ancient fire bowl at the altar. The queen roared. Aveline thrust the blade into the flame. The fire erupted, pure white. The queen screamed, not in rage but in agony. The castle walls cracked, the undead collapsed. The queen turned to ash, her bones crumbling as if erased from time. And Maya fell still. Silence. No whispers. No footfalls. No groaning wind. Just silence. Professor Aveline awoke on the floor of the crypt, the ritual altar smoldering beside her. The blood blade was shattered. The fire had long died. She sat up slowly. Dust floated in shafts of pale morning light coming from the broken ceiling. The crypt's walls were cracked but intact. The stone door, once broken open, was now sealed again. Around her, only 3 others remained. Lara, Jared, 3 others, gone. Outside the castle, the valley had changed. The mist had lifted. The trees stood still. The sky was clear for the first time in days. But there were no birds, no sounds. Just the gentle rustling of leaves, like a breath being drawn. Jared spoke first. Where's Maya? They searched for hours, through the crypt, the castle, the garden, every room, every hallway. She was gone. Only her sketchbook remained on the altar. The final page was fresh, drawn in charcoal and blood. A girl walking into a field of black roses. Back at the rest house, everything was untouched. The dishes, the beds, Alira's shawl still hanging on the coat stand, flowers blooming in the windowsill again. The girls, Velina, Serene, Kalina, were nowhere to be found. The place felt emptied, cleansed. Too quiet. In the library, Aveline found Vivienne Ross's last letter, tucked between the ritual pages. If the hollow ever breathes again, it will ask a price. The seal does not end her, it only binds her. The queen has many faces. She is not one spirit, but many, and they wait for blood, for grief, for guilt. Even if you survive, the valley remembers you. And it may call again. That night, Aveline stood on the cliffs above the valley, holding Maya's pendant, the one they found in the forest. She saved us, she whispered. No, said Rhea, standing beside her. She became part of it. Below, in the far corner of the valley, near the old cemetery, a single figure stood. A girl in white, hair loose, watching. Then she turned and vanished into the trees. 2 days had passed. The sun rose normally now. The birds returned. The river flowed like it always had. But the survivors didn't feel saved. Aveline, Lara, Jared, and Rhea stood at the edge of the valley, their backpacks full, their faces drawn. They had buried Zane and Kevin in the garden. Isla's body was never found. Neither was Maya's. The road down the mountain had reappeared. Dry, visible, passable, but something in the trees watched them still. Just before they began their descent, Aveline found something wedged in the back seat of the tour van. An envelope. No stamp, no address, just her name written in flowing red ink. To Aveline from yourself. Her hands shook as she opened it. Inside, the hollow doesn't end with the queen. The queen is only the mouth. The valley is the body. And now that you've awakened it, you belong to it. At the bottom of the page in Maya's handwriting, don't run, the roots are everywhere. Lara spotted something in the sky and gasped. A crow flying overhead, but its eyes glowed white. It circled once and flew down the valley toward the ruins of the castle. Then more followed. Dozens, hundreds, all silent. The forest trembled slightly, as if breathing. Hours later, in a nearby mountain town, the 4 survivors finally reached help. Rescuers listened. Police questioned them, but their story didn't stick. There is no castle marked on any maps, the officer told them. No valley by that name. And your route doesn't exist. Jared tried to show the photos on his phone. They were gone. His memory card was empty. Even Maya's sketchbook had turned blank, all pages white. Back at her university office weeks later, Aveline returned to work. She was changed, quieter. Her lectures lost their warmth. She avoided mirrors. One night, while reviewing research notes, she opened a drawer in her desk. There sat the blood blade, shattered, still stained with fresh blood. But it wasn't hers. She touched it and heard the whisper again. We bloom in silence. She turned quickly toward her bookshelf. One of Maya's sketches, one Aveline had never seen before, had reappeared. It showed Aveline standing in front of the university building, surrounded by trees with human hands for branches. Far away, deep beneath the earth, past the collapsed tunnels of the castle, a secret chamber flickered back to life. A stone cradle of roots pulsed softly in the dark. From its center, a heartbeat. The hollow was not gone. It had simply changed hosts. Valoria's hollow sleeps again, but in every whisper of the wind, in every blood-red bloom of a flower, in the eyes of every student who cannot remember their dreams, the hollow watches. Long after the screams faded, long after the queen crumbled to dust, the valley remains. Hidden beyond the eyes of maps, forgotten by governments, lost to time, but not to memory. Professor Aveline returned to her lectures. Lara moved away, never speaking of the trip again. Ria tried to paint, but every canvas came out gray. And Jared? He never touched a camera again. They survived. But survival was not escape, because the hollow didn't want to kill them. It wanted them to carry it, to breathe it, to remember it. Now every forest feels too quiet. Every shadow in a hallway moves a second too long. And in their dreams, if they dare to dream, they see her, the queen, smiling. Somewhere deep beneath the mountains, the hollow waits. Not dead, not gone, just patient. And if you ever hear whispers while walking near wild roses, if your reflection moves when you don't, if your blood runs cold at the sight of white crows circling above, then you've already heard its call. And the hollow never forgets. Thank you for watching this chilling tale on Zombie Story Zone. Like, share, and subscribe for more zombie horror stories filled with mystery, suspense, and shocking twists. Until next time, don't follow the footsteps in the dark. The Hollow Valley, Zombie Story Zone, zombie horror, dark fantasy, Maya returns, whispers in the forest.
In the shadows of the night, where the moonlight glows, the zombies lurking everywhere, that's how the story goes. Grab your gear, hold on tight, it's a wild